This is Suzy with TCT Talk On Location. Today I am here with Britney Dent with Lead Girls. Hello, hello.
Hey, Suzy.
Thanks for talking with me again.
Yeah. Lead Girls means so much to me. Lead Girls of NC has been a tremendous asset to me, my family, and this community. I started with Lead Girls as a volunteer, and then I worked part-time here at Lead Girls, and then eventually full-time. My own daughters have gone through the Lead Girls program, and I've also seen tremendous impact on girls in our community here, as well as positive impact for myself.
So how much time have you been involved altogether?
Yeah, so January of this year, 2026, was 5 years that I've been full-time at Lead Girls. And then, like I said, before that, I was part-time employee, and before that, a volunteer.
When did you start volunteering?
So I started volunteering at Lead Girls when I was a school teacher. Lead Girls had a program at the school that I taught sixth grade at. So over 5 years, I've been part of the Lead Girls Village.
Wow.
We have an entrepreneurship camp, and our camp is 2 weeks long. It has a waiting list every year, and so we are super excited. This year, our camp will be July 20th through 24th, and then we have a second week of camp.
And what ages are they?
Our camp is for 6th through 10th grade girls. And so, like I said, with the waiting list, we're having a second week. And so outside of July 20th through 24th, we'll do July 27th through 31st for that second week. And this is for rising 6th through 10th grade girls. And it is focused on entrepreneurship.
Is there any types of activities you can share that you would do?
Yeah, lots of activities. And so the girls will walk away with a business plan and a prototype.
Oh, wow.
They will have a business pitch competition on the last day of camp. And so lots of activities throughout those 5 days where they're working to build a business, learn what it means to start a business, and then, of course, some fun activities. What camp, do you have that doesn't have some team building and all of that? And then, of course, lots of things to get to know each other and just lots of fun, but also some real activities to help them learn what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Are they hosted here at the?
Yes, our camp is hosted here at our lead office. So with our camp, it's a full-day camp each day, and so campers come usually around 8:30 because camp starts at 9. And so we're here from 9 to 3. So a full day of activities with breakfast, snack, lunch, all of that, plus all the activities with the facilitators. We have our trained facilitators doing those sessions, and we have a evidence-based curriculum that we use for the entrepreneurial piece as well. And then, like I said, on that last day of camp, our campers get to pitch their business idea with a panel of community judges that have businesses as well. That's a surprise who the judges are.
Present and stuff?
Yep, parents come on the last day to see the pitch competition. So that's always super exciting as well. And so we're really just excited about camp. So if you have a girl that wants to start a business or already has a business that she's looking to expand and all of that, then check us out. We have a waiting list for camp, but registration open soon.
Awesome. With Lead Girls and your book, and you're even called the Teenage Whisperer, so you work with teenagers a lot. But I want to reflect back on what were you like as a teenager? What would your mom say?
Okay, so what would I say versus what my mom say?
Both.
Two different things, and that's typical, right? When you think about, and I go by the teen choice coach, and like Suzy said, the teenage whisperer. Like I said, I was a school teacher for 10 years. I taught middle school and high school. With my work at Lead Girls, I work with middle schoolers. My book that I published, Parenting Redefined, focuses on teenagers a lot with high schoolers. I mentioned in the book. And so me as a teenager, it's like a typical teenager today. I had me at school, me at church, me at home. Sometimes that aligned and was the same. Sometimes it wasn't. And so I would say, though, I also was bullied a lot. I struggled with confidence and self-esteem. And I see a lot of that today. Still, a lot of teenagers deal with bullying, whether they are the one doing it or whether they are the one experiencing it. But it is a real challenge. The self-esteem, the confidence, those challenges as well. But also I was a stellar student academically, and I see that also. And so I know a lot of times people focus on the challenges and the negative that teenagers face, but there's some great things happening and some amazing things happening in my work in all the realms that I'm dealing with teenagers with, I see and hear some amazing things happening with our teens, middle schoolers and high schoolers. And so I was a little bit of both, a mixture of all the positive and all the negative that our teenagers are experiencing.
I was very shy as a teenager, until I got to know people. And so everybody always wanted me to talk more, and they focused on that, like you said, and they didn't focus on the fact that I was excelled in academics, had close friendships. But and I feel like it's, not to hate on men, but I feel like it's harder for girls as teenagers.
Yeah, it's definitely tough being a girl back then and now.
Different challenges.
Talking was not my problem. Wherever the teacher moved me, I talked, and I would sit by the teacher and talk to her too. And
that's how my oldest daughter is.
It has done me well, obviously, to talk. Like I said, I did have some challenges with bullying or self-esteem, in middle school, but by high school, I had overcome some of that with the help of mentors and family and some other things. But me as a teenager, sassy would be the word that my mom would use, but it has been beneficial as an adult.
Brought up a great point about self-esteem and how teenage girls struggle with that. So what kind of advice do you give them when they come to you with these issues?
For anyone struggling with self-esteem, I think it's important to just learn how to overcome, and sometimes that takes multiple reminders. And here at LEAD, for example, we use the evidence-based curriculum, like I mentioned before, and one of those key data points that we measure is girls' self-esteem. And we've seen tremendous strides in girls being more confident, and that's one of the things we focus on, is helping them understand that they're valuable and they can use their voice, and giving them strategies to actually overcome. So that makes me proud, just the impact and understanding that when they have that self-esteem, they can give an honest no to things they don't want to do, which is important even as they become adults. The other thing I think about is, even for me, I mentioned in my book, I mentioned in talks a lot, is to girls, but not just to girls, is that to some people you may not be enough, and to some people you may be too much, and those are not your people. A lot of times when you struggle with self-esteem, you try to fit in, and you want to fit in, and you do things you shouldn't just to fit in. But it's about finding your people, and that helps with your confidence. And if you don't seem to fit in with those people, they're not your people. It's all about finding,
that's
the right
very
fit,
true.
and that helps with your confidence. And so that's what I believe.
That's great advice. So I'm sure a lot of things haven't changed with teenagers, so they probably still say, I'm bored, I need something to do. So what do you recommend they do in places they go in Winston-Salem?
So for teenagers, I recommend a few things. One would be like the trampoline parks. They love that. And so places like Airbound or Urban Airs, they can get out some energy. I also recommend places like Sawtooth or Mixer, where they can be creative and like make things with their hands, and they kind of use the hand and the mind to do some different activities. And then I recommend parks. Like, I love the parks. Even my own children, I have 8-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, and so even there you can do different things. And so one's not bored, or one's not like, oh, this is too much for me. And then also libraries, like the public libraries have
the downtown
activities.
Ones.
Yes, have so many different things you can do there in different sections and areas. And so really thinking about getting outside and moving around, doing something, and just taking advantage of what the city has to offer.
Which is a lot.
Yes, aside from just inside scrolling, that sort of thing. So definitely recommending the trampoline parks, the regular parks with nature, as well as the public libraries are a few things.
Where are your teens' favorite places?
So also I'll say restaurants, because my family likes to eat. So me and my children like to eat, and then, like I said, we honestly do like to go to the parks and the libraries.
Do they have any favorite restaurants?
Yeah, I like Yama's a lot. They're not, big on Yama's as I am. They love to go to Kava, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle. I also love to go to Harris Teeter and Publix to Deli, which is not a restaurant.
Yeah, but they have really good food.
Yeah. And then they also love like downtown restaurants, local restaurants like Young Cardinal or Jeffrey Adams. anything local. And then even like when we're on breaks from school, we like to try different local restaurants like Timmy's Hot Chicken, or just anything like local that we can try as well. So all about Winston-Salem, whatever we can try.
There's a lot to try. There's always new stuff popping up.
Yeah.
And just now, Bricks is now a new pizza place. So that's on my list.
And then we love ice cream too. I know, people who know me know in my book I talk about Frozen Friday. So I think about Dream Creams is downtown and Chilled Nitro is downtown, and just
have you guys been to Twin City Sweets?
Yep, Twin City Sweets. So all the like local ice cream places that we can go to. Yeah, that's also a plus.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me.